Good morning, YouTube. I've just cleaned all the glass vases in my Phalaenopsis and I've grouped them. I've made some observations and they could be helpful. This is just my opinion, of course, and I've only been doing the full water culture for 4 or 5 months, and not all of these vase have been in full water culture for that length of time, and I'll explain that as I go along. But let's start over here. These 5 or 6, as you can see, seem to be the most successful ones. Let's just move that one out of the way. They all seem to have lovely green roots. They seem to be flowering well, especially that one back there. I mean, that one's, look at the roots on that one. It's really, really nice. And that's that one there, and that one's only been in a couple of months, but I'd say that's a happy Phalaenopsis. This one's been in for quite a while. This was one that I had previously, which was in bark. I've had a couple of years, and that one's getting some nice green tips on him and doing well. Likewise, this double one here, this yellow double one, just turn it around, which is fading a little bit now, but those flowers have been out for months. But that one's got some great green tips on it, so I'd say they were the most successful so far. Right, the ones on the end here, so let's group them together so you can see them. These two, they are the most recent ones. So this one on the end here with the double spike, this one I've only had for 3 weeks, and I haven't changed the water in that one this morning because we're observing that one and keeping an eye on it to see how well it does and how long it takes to turn green. But as you can see, the roots are still nice, the plant still looks really healthy. I think it's coming up for 4 weeks actually now, that one's been in there. But you can see the roots are starting to go silvery grey. Sorry, the light's not very good. It's not a very good day today. There, so if you can see the roots are starting to go silvery grey, but the bottom of them are green. So that one's not so bad. Can't really make any observations on this one because this one literally has only been in there. My husband bought me this one, and this one's only been in there a few days. And it's gorgeous. Look at the flowers, they're beautiful. And it's quite a big one, this one. Anyway, back to my observations. So that's the 5 or 6 that's doing well. I've got a couple here that they're okay. I mean, they're fine. It's just that they're not growing as many green tips. But, and this one here, this particular white one, that's its second spike, and it did have a first spike which didn't have many flowers on it, and I think that might be due to my lack of care, not actually giving it a good feed when I should have done. So I've learnt my lesson and I will do that. And the one at the back, the yellow and pink one, that one my neighbour bought me, and that one is only been in a couple of months, but it's, you know, it's doing fine. I have cut a few rotten roots off that this morning. Likewise, I did cut 1 or 2 off this one as well. But this group in a line here, the 2 at the front and the 3 at the back, they are what I call not commercially produced, shall we say, in a big way. Like all those over there are what I call commercially produced, as in they're produced en masse. They're sold to the big DIY chains, and you purchase them from there. So the places like Mitre 10, Warehouse, Bunnings, etc. So they are all purchased commercially, and they all seem to be relatively successful in the water culture. So I don't know whether they, I don't know, pump them full of something to make them better, or to make them more adaptable, or to make them, you know, transition better from, you know, the nursery to people's houses. I've no idea. But like I say, they have done well. These, like I say, these 5 are what I bought from 2 of them, the 2 in the middle. So this one and the bright yellow one, those 2, I purchased from a chap on our local auction who sells them. And although they're adapting slowly and they're only been there a couple of months, they're doing okay, but they're not doing as well as I thought they would. Likewise, these 2 and that one back there were purchased from a small grower up on the North Island, and they're named species. So whether it's got something to do with they're not so strong or they're not so adaptable to different situations, like i.e. the water culture, I don't know, but they're definitely not doing so well. I mean, they're not dying or anything. They're okay. They're just yeah, they're not growing or doing as well as I thought they would. So, you know, we'll just have to see. But I suspect if they don't perk up, especially those 2 in the front and the one at the back, I may well put back into bark and just see how it does then. So yeah, I'll think about that. So just coming over to these 4. These are all the mini Phalaenopsis, and my most successful one in the water culture is this one, which is this gorgeous yellow one, and this one has got a beautiful scent. I've no idea what it was because it's commercially bought. It's bought from one of the big DIY chains, and of course they come with no ID, but I'm really glad I got that one. Really happy with that one. The others, probably that one at the back there. That one's adapting okay. It's got some nice green tips on it, and it's looking happy. And the other 2, not. I mean, they're okay. They're not. I mean, this one's got aerial roots coming out in all directions, but he's not doing. Actually, he's popping out of the. There you go. He's not doing as well as I would expect for the length of time I've had him. And likewise, the one next to it, this one here with a double stem, although it's put on a great show of flowers, the leaves look okay. It's okay. I mean, it's not, you know, it's not bad, but I have cut off a few rotten roots this morning. So these little babies are for one of the commercial growers that I got, the ones back there, the 3 that I'm possibly considering putting into bark. And they've been in bark since I've got them, and they are doing okay. There's 3 there, 3 there, and from the same company, another 3 there. So they seem to be doing okay in the bark. On the end here, we've got what I'm calling the sick bay. And this is a Phalaenopsis that wasn't doing very well. Again, these have been bought from specialised growers, not from commercial places. As you can see, this particular one here is not doing good at all. Very, very yellow-leaved, and it's only got, well, at the moment it's only got 2 leaves on it there, I think. No, 1. I don't know hold up much hope for that one, to be honest with you. But I took the advice of one of the orchid growers from my meeting, and I've put them in these bags with the spag moss, and I'm just going to forget about them, basically. I'm going to leave them there for a couple of months, check them in a couple of months. If they've got green roots, then they're definitely going back into bark. So yeah, so that's all my observations. Could be helpful, could be a load of rubbish, but it's what I've observed with my own plants. Obviously, I realise my conditions are not the same as everybody else's, but it may be helpful to somebody. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.